everyone, welcome back to Self Love TV. I am back, guys. I am back, and today I have a subject that I want to talk about that I think hopefully will inspire someone or get you to thinking about your life, your self-love journey, where you are, what it means to you, and how you can improve upon that. I took a little bit of a hiatus near the end of last year, so I've been gone from this channel for a while. I have two channels, so if you're not following me on my primary channel, which is Lydia's Life TV, that channel is dedicated to inspiring mature women 45 and older to live their best life. And even if you're younger and you're inspired by some of the things that I promote, I do encourage you to follow me there, subscribe as well. But that channel is more dedicated toward showing you how I live my life as a mature single woman living on her own, and the ups and downs of that, the joys, the highs and the lows, just to say that, and how that can look for you. So if that's something of interest, please go over. I'm going to leave a link in the description bar below if you're interested in joining me on that channel. But I created this second channel to be devoted to self-love. I wanted us to only talk about self-love, how we can embody that. And if you are at a point in your life where you don't feel that you love yourself as much, that you can be inspired through seeing how others do it. So if this is something of interest to you, please keep watching. Hello everybody, welcome back to Self Love TV. Welcome to 2023. I have been away for a little while. I did drop in and leave my new intro. Hope it's something that you find enjoyable or attractive enough to make you want to subscribe. But I'm back today, and I know you've seen the title, and today we're going to be talking about how isolation can actually help you to love yourself. I know a lot of people are probably thinking, how in the world can that help you love yourself? Because oftentimes when we think about isolation, we think about loneliness, and we think about sadness or depression. But actually isolation can help you to love yourself. So today I'm here, y'all see, I'm promoting self-love here with my shirt here. It's saying beauty slays in every shade, and this is in honor of Black History Month. So I wanted to come on and just kind of rep my sister's Black History Month. You know, I know this channel has more than one demographic as far as race is concerned, but women of color are not promoted enough, so any opportunity that I get a chance to do that, I'm going to do it. So I'm here this morning with my coffee. I got my cup from my girls' channel. It says, "You are now in Africa, you can do it." So this is from DIY House and Farms. If anyone follows her, you know, and her and Then Man, this is one of their cups they have that's offered in her store. So, you know, one of my dreams is to go to Africa. So this inspires me to continue on that journey so that I can go. So I'm having my coffee. And it's Sunday morning. It's a little rainy outside, but I love these quiet rains. So it's raining outside. It's very soft and quiet. And if I didn't have to do this video, this light would be off. I have my candles lit and just be enjoying that whole aura. So today I do want to talk about isolation and how that can help you to love yourself more. When the pandemic hit back in 2020, y'all remember that. I don't think the world was prepared for anything that was going to unfold after that. I got COVID in my birthday month of January 2020, and that was before people really knew it was COVID. In March is when I think everybody started talking about it. That's when the world started talking about it. But I was very, very sick, and I was afraid that on my birthday that I was not going to be able to do anything or enjoy myself. But I did recover right before my birthday. But that was a very dark time for me because I was living alone. A lot of you don't know that I have relocated back to my hometown of Chattanooga. I was living in Memphis, have been there. I've lived in Memphis for about 14 years, and I had to come home. My father passed last year in April, and my mother has some health challenges mentally. She suffers from dementia. So during my father's homegoing, you know, and talking with family, I made a decision to come home and assist my mom. I felt like this was a time where she needed her children to be closer. So I made that decision. And guys, when I came home, it was a roller coaster ride for me. But we'll get into that another time. During the pandemic, 2020 year, sat everybody down in the world. The government asked us to stay at home, to not go out. A lot of jobs shut down. A lot of people were working from home. And I wasn't one of those. I didn't get an opportunity to work from home. I still had to go to work, but that was my daily routine. I would go to work and come home. It was no shopping. Stores were closed, or either you had to call in your order and pick it up at the door as far as food. But everything was like shutting down. You had to wear a mask and all of this stuff. So it was just a very dark time. I think a lot of people suffer from depression doing that, a lot of sadness, a lot of isolation. And some people spoke of the isolation as being a very depressing time. But for me, that was a time where it forced me to look at myself. And a lot of you, if you just really admit that, you had to be creative in the way you navigated every day, the things that you did. You had to come up with creative ways, and especially if you lived alone. I think it might have been a little bit easier for people who have family, who have children or a spouse, or who live with people. It might have been a little bit easier for you because you had people that you could talk with and interact with. But when you live by yourself, if you don't do that, if you haven't experienced that, you have no idea how that can affect you and how creative you have to become. Even if you can reach out to people through phone or email or through Zooming or FaceTiming, having someone right here with you is even better when you can reach out and touch someone versus, doing it through social media or, internet, in that way, cyberly. It's just always great to have someone that could be right here where you could give a real hug when you need it. And so that time forced me in this space where I had to learn a little bit about myself and my fears and look at my life and assess where I was and what I wanted for myself going forward. And, it forced me to look at things I had experienced, the good and the bad, and how I could improve upon that self. It changed me. And also during that time, it taught you who the people that were authentic and genuine in your life was, because those people who cared about you showed up for you. They checked on you. Hopefully you were checking on them as well. And it just allowed you to really see your life. And for me, that was a time of growth. For those 2 years, sitting down in 2020 and only really getting out and being able to enjoy people again was in 2022 for me. It really helped me. I made some choices during that time that wasn't the greatest. I jumped into a relationship in 2021, and although I don't look at that as a horrible time, because I had some very enjoyable times, but it just wasn't the right relationship for me. And I think a lot of it was motivated by that isolation. So it allowed you to just look at yourself and kind of figure out your course, your path, your journey, your purpose, your passion, and uncover a lot. So for me, isolation was an unveiling. It was a peeling back of layers to see who I was. When I moved back here, I came back here with purpose. I came back here with hope. I came back here with that outlook on life that I was going to be the best version of myself, and I was going to love unconditionally and be there for the people that mattered to me. That was my dream. And little did I know that during that time I was going to lose a lot of people. And that also put me in a space where I was looking at, okay, what's going on? Why am I losing people? But I began to realize that when you experience growth in your life, when you are being pushed and your life is unfolding in the path that you're supposed to take, oftentimes it's going to come with loss. It's just like in the fall, when things start to dry up and die and the leaves turn brown and the branches get brittle and they break off and the leaves fall from the trees. It is a time for it to renew itself, because when the spring comes, there's new branches, there's new leaves that grow, new blossoms, new flowers. And you can't have that until the old falls off. So I often compare my life to that, because I felt like I was losing a lot, but did not realize that it was putting me on a path so that I could grow, and that the newness that I was supposed to experience, it was preparing me for that. So I stopped looking at it as, what am I doing to create this loss in my life, versus where I'm going and what doors were opening. I feel that God was opening doors for me, and he was bringing me to a place where I could be who I meant to be in life, and to have my people find me, those people that are meant for me in my life. See, a lot of people don't understand that. We feel like when we losing the people that have always been there, that something got to be wrong with us. But those are not your people a lot of times. Those are not your people. And the ones that are meant to be your people, they will find you again. And I had to truly understand that. And I was very hurt when I lost certain people in my life. You know, last year, I lost a dear friend of mine, someone that I had in my life for a number of years, even though we had not been connected for over 40 years. But that person, I always looked at them as somebody that was special, because I don't look at my friendships, I don't call the people that I've lost not friends, because you do lose friends. It's just the fact that your path has taken another course that they're not on, because there are people in your life that are supposed to be seasonal, and whatever purpose they were there for had been completed. And now I look at it that way, because I used to look at it like, well, they weren't true friends. That's not true. Sometimes they are your friends, but sometimes they're not meant to be forever. And whatever they were meant for in your life had come to fruition, and it was complete. So now it was time for them to go their way, and it was time for you to go your way. And so when I lost this girlfriend, I hurt, and I discussed that with one of my best friend, because I didn't understand it. I came back here with every intentions of showing up, being supportive, being loving, being there, being that girlfriend whenever she needed it. And to lose her in the way that I lost her, you know, just on a whim, not understanding why, being just cut off with no real explanation other than the fact that they didn't feel that they felt that I was not being a friend because I had another friend. I never could understand that, because the world is big enough for us to have multiple friends. And each person gives you something different. And each person means something different to you. And as long as you're giving the love, that's what life is all about, is giving love. It's no room for jealousy or envy if you can give love to them the way you give to someone else. And so when I lost that person, I started to feel a little lost again. But then I had to understand was that purpose had been served. That relationship had been served. And that if that relationship was meant for me, it'll find its way back. So when you get in these moments of isolation and you feel like you're losing, understand that it is a part of life and that it's for your growth. And sometimes growth is painful. See, we don't realize that. We think that life is supposed to be about happiness all the time, and we're supposed to be smiling this little bubble and we're skipping through the daisies. But sometimes life and growth is very painful. And during the pandemic, I cried a lot because I didn't have anyone here with me. And I felt alone. I felt like that wherever we were going in life, that I was going to die that way. And not realizing that during that time that I was learning, I developed myself. I went back to school, and I was able to complete some things that was going to be helpful to me in my life once I got over that hump, over that storm. And it catapulted me into this place now, where I truly understand what my purpose is, where I truly understand what God has for me. and what I'm supposed to give in this world. See, a lot of times people look at this channel and they see how small it is, and they say, oh girl, ain't nobody watching you. But you'd be surprised at the people that I've touched. And see, we don't always have to be touching thousands of people. If you're able to touch one life, you've served a purpose. And I get a lot of emails and messages from women who have been inspired by the things that I've put out here, whether it's on this channel or my primary channel. And I realized that God has me in a place of my life to do a work that's designed for me and in the way that I do it. So whenever I get these special letters and from email or messages, DMs from women that talk about how I've touched them and how it actually inspired them and encouraged them to take their own journeys, it fills me up and it makes me humble to know that my work is being fulfilled. And isolation did that for me. Being alone, learning about me, my fears, and what I needed to overcome, and walking that path alone. I know I have people that love me and that will always be there for me, but sometimes your journey has to be taken alone. You have to go off into the wilderness and figure out what you are and who you are, and learn to love yourself in the space that you're in. And that's what isolation did for me. So don't always feel like because you're over here by yourself that means you've done something evil or bad. Maybe that's where you need to be, so you can learn who you are, and you can work on yourself, and you can become who you need to be. So take that period of isolation and learn who you are. Go inward. Admit your fears. Get you a journal. That's what I say. Or a notebook that you can write down your fears. And you can write down the things that you love and where you want to go in life. And you can open up yourself to yourself. Because until we are able to do that and be honest, it takes you to be honest. You got to admit your faults. You got to be able to admit the things that you messed up on. But then you can turn around and you can talk about the good things. And you can talk about what you try to give to people. And you can admit to yourself, even when you allow people to take advantage of you or take you for granted, understand that, learn from it, and move on, and not allow it anymore. But isolation is good for you. And when you come out on the other side, trust me, you're going to appreciate yourself for the better. And I'm not going to say it's going to be a quick month or two. It took me 2 years to really unfold and understand me. But I'm here. I'm here, and this is my journey. And I'm sharing it with you all to let you know that you can get here too. And that you can love yourself. And whatever that looks like, and whatever purpose it is supposed to be for you, and however your life is supposed to unfold and live, how you're supposed to live that out for the rest of your life, you can do it. So I want to thank you for stopping through Self Love TV. This year we're going to be very open and very authentic, and we're going to be deep, and sometimes it's going to be humbling, and it's going to put you in a vulnerable state, but it's going to help you to love yourself even more. So thank you for tuning in today. And if you're new to the channel, I say thank you and welcome. I do see a few more subscribers. Thank you for joining us here on Self Love TV. And I appreciate you all, and all of those returning that has been waiting for me to come back. I'm back. And thank you for waiting and watching. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're watching for the first time, and share it with a friend. Turn on the notifications so you'll be notified when I upload. And I'll see you in the next video. Remember, always peace and love, kisses and hugs. And I'll see you next time.